What is going on, everybody, and welcome on into Garage Beers Live, episode 276, brought to you proudly here on the OBR streaming network. Get over to the OBR and hit subscribe for all the best Browns content on the internet. It happens at theobr.com, and it happens here on the OBR streaming network, where we are getting ready to basically do like 7 nights a week of video content as we lead our way into the Cleveland Browns season. And welcome to our new night here on the OBR streaming network. Wednesday nights on the OBR streaming network are now your home for Garage Beers. So we're appreciative of you joining us live here tonight if you can make it. And if you couldn't make it here on Wednesday night, we appreciate you listening on Apple or Spotify or wherever you catch your podcasts. With you, as always, I'm your host, Michael Keefe. Joining me in the garage tonight, over on the east side of Cleveland, it's Chad Meyer. What's going on, Chad?
Hi, guys. How are you?
What's up, man?
It's been a hell of a day, but just got back from an amazing vacation. If you've never been up to the coast in Maine, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. The weather was perfect. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's probably the same in Seattle, but I mean, just zero humidity, just a light breeze coming in off the sea, 74 to 79 degrees every day, right? I got out of the sauna that was in Ohio. I had some of the freshest lobster you'll ever have in your life, even including some different takes on lobster rolls. I had like a brown butter lobster roll that was fucking delicious. But we made a few stops along the way, right? Lake George, New York was the first stop. That was like if The Great Outdoors was filmed in 2025. Like I was expecting Uncle Roma to come by on a jet boat. Portland, Maine was after that. That was interesting. That was like if Tremont met the Arena District at Columbus while being on the water, and Mike would have became a fully functional alcoholic. Well, not a functional alcoholic, a full-fledged alcoholic. Because
I was going to say,
because Mike, I swear to God, Mike, I counted. There was on one street corner there were 6 breweries, and then there was other breweries on other street corners. Like it was just chock full of breweries. And then Bar Harbor after that. Excuse me, Bar Harbor. And just Acadia was just unbelievable. And then ended the trip in Buffalo, and kind of cool. The hotel we booked was it turns out it was connected to the Sabres practice facility, so I snuck onto the ice there for a little bit, and tooled around the Sabres practice facility for a bit. So incredible vacation. Shitty day today, but I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, I'm rambling. How are you guys?
Man, we're glad you're back. That's how we are.
Yeah.
We're glad you're back. And before we fully get into how we are, in order to bring him in here to tell us how he is, let's introduce him. Our other co-host out in Seattle, it's Joey Whalen. What's up, Joe? How are you? How are you?
I'm fantastic. I mean, like, yeah, it's a weird day. Today was just like a weird day, but like
it was a weird week today.
The best way to end weird days and weeks are beers and friends in sports. You know?
Yes.
So I'm very excited for the episode. Very excited to crack open some cold ones with you boys. Also very excited now that we're ramping up Brown season and football season.
Yeah.
Finally, it's like the point where I can start getting excited about it. Let me emphasis on start getting excited about it. But it means fantasy football's around the corner.
Yeah. And I haven't even set that up. I should probably
I
do
know.
that.
I got an email saying remind your commissioner to set up the league.
I should probably do that.
I'm still owed money.
Get going.
Oh, I'll have to.
You are still owed money. Not for me though, because not for me.
Some killer IOUs. Listen,
I
got a great show. It's just the 3 of us in the garage tonight, but sometimes we like it that way. And we have got a lot of stuff to talk about. So there's no shortage of things. We're going to start with the Cleveland Browns. As Joe said, we're getting close to NFL football season. The Browns have now played a preseason game, and there's just so much to talk about with them right now. And boys, I want to get a lot of opinions from you because, oh man, there's a lot of opinions out there on everything. So we'll talk about the Browns. And then a topic that I shamefully have not thought nearly enough about. And then I looked today and I'm like, we got to be talking about this. We're going to dive into a college football talk. The first AP poll of the season is out. So we'll see a meaningless poll that happens before any teams play any games. But we'll talk about what that says. We'll talk about Ohio State football a little bit, coming off the national championship. but man, are there a lot of unknowns on that Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, there's some very well knowns, and then there's some unknowns.
Special Buckeye
roster.
guest coming too.
And we do have a special Buckeye guest coming. And so I don't think I even know about that. So I'm glad you just said it. I have no idea what you're talking about. So sweet. Can't wait to find that out. So we're going to get into that. We got Guardians baseball that we want to talk about at the end of the show and so much more. So we're really glad you're here joining us on episode 276 of Garage Beers. But we can't get into any of it before we do our favorite segment of the week. It's time for our Garage Beers of the week. And coming off that vacation, Chad.
I want to go last. You guys go first.
Go last. All right. You know what? I'll go first. I'll go first. I never go first. I'll go first. So you can tell I'm in a hotel room, which is really weird for me. And I am in Bowie, Maryland.
Is there like a Jetsons couch behind you?
Yeah, sort of, right?
What a weird shape.
Elroy.
Like if you sat on that thing and hit a button, would just a glass covering go over your head and you just fly away?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
That'd be sick, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's enormous. Like it's huge. Yeah, I don't think you could tell here, but it's huge. Also, I've got weird hotel lighting. I'm very excited about this whole thing. But I'm in Bowie, Maryland, which is right outside of Washington, D.C., like 15 minutes outside of D.C. And we went all the way up to Olney last night, and we went to a brewery that's called Lone Oak Farm Brewing Company. And I think it's the prettiest brewery I've ever been to. Like it's on that, I know I say that about Treehouse, but this is like, once you get out of the cities in Maryland and you get into like these rolling hill farms here, it's beautiful. And this one is beautiful. Olney is a really fun town. We wind up there all the time while we're down here. And so I went to Lone Oak Farm and I got the Sapling Hazy IPA.
Nice.
It's cute.
Yeah.
And it is it's really good. I don't know any details about it other than it is delicious, and it's from a really cool brewery in Olney, Maryland. It's 7.3%, and I am going to enjoy a dose of these as we do the show. So
does your mouth stick to it when you drink it from the can? Like sap, get it, sap.
Oh, you're so funny. you're so funny. You're so funny. Joe, what are you drinking?
Oh, boys, finally have a new beer this evening. It's very exciting. A little Woodinville, Washington brewery, which also, do you know what they make in what? You know what Woodinville is? You've been to Woodinville, Mike.
Yeah,
they have a bunch of like wineries there.
Yeah, I think isn't there a distillery?
Here. There's a distillery, Woodinville Whiskey Company.
Yeah,
great spot. Black Raven Brewing is also there. They also make bobbleheads there. I remember one of my last nights in Nashville. I got a. They were doing a series last year of like country artists, and I got a Jelly Roll bobblehead.
Oh, damn.
And I was literally just like looking on the box on the way home, and I was like, made in Woodinville, Washington. So good wine, beer, bobbleheads, and Jelly Roll bobbleheads. This is Black Raven Origins IPA.
Nice.
Yes. Very exciting looking beer here. Do you know the difference between a raven and a crow?
I don't know that I do. I don't
either. There is one apparently.
You can quoth a raven.
I think ravens are more mysterious and crows are more annoying. But there's a lot of crow-looking ravens here. And I don't know. Maybe ravens are bigger.
I honestly think
there's a difference.
I honestly think one thing I knew. We're gonna have to look this up, but I do think one thing I know is that I think a raven can like talk. Like I think a raven can say words. Yes. I've seen videos of this where I think a crow just caws.
Who's the raven in Game of Thrones? Like this is proven right. Who's the raven?
Oh yeah, Bran. Raven.
Yeah, there's a raven. Hold on, this can be proven, and I can prove it. There's a raven at the new Cleveland Natural History Museum. When you go to like the outside area, there's a raven there.
Okay,
and you can say certain things to it, and it'll say it back to you. So I went up to it. And somebody around
not a real raven. Is that a real raven?
Yeah. Oh, they have like a little kind of zoo area outside. And if you go up, like one of the things, if you say okay, it'll like just say okay right back to you.
Oh.
So, I don't know what all the other differences are, but I think that's
the crows are the ones that like will bring you stuff. Like if you like leave them out some seeds, they'll bring you like a penny or something, or like a lipstick cap.
What?
Well, that's fun.
You haven't seen that before?
Caw.
Indeed. Anyways, beer's great. It's good. I'm gonna have to figure out that difference a little better.
Bitch.
But I will be visiting
just like
brewery
this
in the near future.
All right, that's
You say
awesome.
cob, cob bitch.
Go
Yeah.
on, go on,
Call,
Chad.
bitch.
Go on, Chad. Oh,
Well, gentlemen, tonight I have a very special beer. Tonight, I believe this is the first time ever in show history that I have located a beer that one of our special guests has brought on the show before.
Oh,
I've
Okay.
located a beer in Lake George, New York, where Northway Brewing resides. And if you'll remember, back on one of our Olympic episodes, Mr. Rob McClanahan
yes.
brought on a beer specially made for the 1980 Miracle on Ice hockey team. And it just so happened that same brewery was where I was staying in New York. So, gentlemen, I have the Miracle on Ice Golden Ale.
Let's
Oh,
go
tonight.
nice.
Yes,
Sick.
it is. It is a basic bitch beer, but the fact that I just have it here is just amazing. Plus, you're doing a little bit of good in the world because a portion of the proceeds for all of this beer sold goes to charities like Make-A-Wish and all other charities
cool.
that make
Nice.
miracles. That make miracles. So, I got myself a couple of 6-packs of the Miracle on Ice Golden Ale, boys, and it is just a smooth drinking, refreshing beer, and I can just kill about 12 of these.
I'm just thinking of the movie Miracle, and every time you finish one of those beers, every time I see you empty your glass, I'm just gonna go again,
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Again.
I'm a baby. USA.
Joe's gonna be like, Herb, stop. Herb, stop.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
All right, those are our garage beers of the week this week. You get into the comments and let us know. Listen, I do want to say this. I'm sorry, I should have said this right at the beginning of the show. I know a lot of people are used to watching us on YouTube. The OBR has had a little bit of a glitch on their YouTube channel. And so if you're used to watching us on YouTube, but you're here somewhere else, that's cool. You should still be able to comment if you're on Facebook. I don't know if we see the X comments. I feel like sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. If you're watching on X, go ahead and try to comment and we'll see if it happens. Otherwise, if you want to be part of the show, if you want to talk and get involved in all that stuff, get over to the OBR's Twitch channel. And for tonight only, that'll be the best spot for you to really get involved with this one, as we already have a lot of people here. So if you want to comment and be a part of the show, get over to the Twitch channel. If you're just here hanging out, that's cool too. And again, we should be back. I believe the OBR's YouTube channel is down for 24 hours for some reason, but we should be full back and ready to go with that next week. So just wanted to make sure we know about that. All
You
right,
can also
boys.
just text your comments in at Mike 216 to.
I'm gonna punch you. I mean, not that. That's all right. You could. Yeah, that's fine.
I
can
wish
do it,
you
it's
were.
fine.
I wish you would have finished that.
No.
wish you would have
I,
finished
I had it pulled up. I had it pulled up.
Bad.
that.
Okay, boys. Let's dive in to episode 276, and let's start with the Cleveland Browns. Let's go back to Friday.
Okay.
Preseason games are preseason games. We know that the result of preseason games are meaningless, but the Browns did go to Carolina, a Carolina Panthers team that played their starters the first part of that game. And the Browns wind up winning the game. But I think there were I think the nice thing to talk about this game, it's not about the fact that they won 30-10 or whatever. I think the nice thing to talk about in this game is it just seems like there were a lot of performances from guys that you want to see good performances from, and they just seem to bring it. Like some of the young guys seem to bring it. Some of the guys that you think are going to need to be relied on offensively, defensively, maybe from a depth perspective, or maybe guys that they're probably going to have to ask to do a little bit more than just a depth guy. I thought a lot of guys really brought it in that game. So, just from your impressions of the game, Chad, I know you were on vacation, so you probably didn't really see the game, but I know you've heard about it, read about it, all that kind of stuff. Just kind of your impressions of the way our first glimpse of the 2025 Cleveland Browns looked in that game against Carolina.
I mean, it obviously it went well. I mean, in a 30-10 win. I mean, you only read about the guy, so obviously, I didn't watch the game, so obviously I didn't see the kind of in-depth, like, individual performances that you might be talking about. But from the highlights that I saw, I mean, obviously you had to like what you saw, right? I mean, obviously we're going to talk about Shedeur. I know we're going to talk about Shedeur. He played well. I don't understand why people can't just be happy that someone played well and why we have to go deeper into that. But anyway, I thought Mason Graham Mason Graham showed the type of defensive lineman he can be. I mean, he's not there yet. Obviously, you're not going to win every play as a defensive lineman, but I thought he showed some nice ability. I thought Carson Schwessinger. I can't say that name real
We
well.
always got to cover the Browns at the beginning of the show. This is just going to get very hard towards the end of the show.
Schwessinger made an impact with his snaps. A few guys look good from the highlights that I saw. At least I didn't see the downside, but yeah, it's some guys are going to be asked to step up, and it's going to be a lot of these young guys. And if that continues, it could be a fun season for at least individual wise for the Browns.
You hit on it, Chad, and Chad and Joe. I think defensively, it was the young guys that really stood out and made me feel like, oh man, I know, like Mason Graham. Mason Graham was facing, first of all, the starting offensive line for the Carolina Panthers, and they were double teaming him. Like the whole time he was in the game, Mason Graham was getting doubles. Well, what's not going to happen when somebody like Myles Garrett and Malik Collins and some of these other guys, what's not going to happen when those guys are out on the field? The teams aren't going to be double teaming Mason Graham. And so I said it, boys, that night. I hope this entire preseason, when they're in game situations, Mason Graham just gets double teamed the whole time, because week one, when that game rolls around in week one against the Bengals, he's going to probably feel like it's the easiest game he has ever walked into.
Yeah.
When the opposing offense is focused on somebody like Myles Garrett.
Yeah, totally. I think, that is a great thing for him to see. And, you can only realistically consistently double team one person on the field. So good for him to see that, though, I think early on as well. I'm sure he's going to get a lot of those packages in the season, especially if, he continues to be explosive. But I also really liked Shedur's performance. I don't know, why we have to, super analyze it. I will say one thing that, bugs me about him, this early on, just one little nit. His scrambling is a little weird going back. He has a couple.
It's a big knock. It's one of his big knocks.
Yeah, he has a couple. It's a little turnaround move where he loses 10 yards and then does it again and loses another 10. These guys come a lot faster than they did in college. And, that's a learning curve that we saw with Baker. This is a very common thing, I think, that young mobile quarterbacks run into, where they think they can outrun these guys, but these are full-grown men that they are not outrunning. And they know how to close gaps really quickly. So I think that's hopefully a teachable thing that, something to work on. But overall, I don't know how you can be mad at his performance last week. It was great. Very exciting.
Well, all right, let's talk about that, because I was like, let's spare everybody and talk about everything else first. But you both went to Shedeur first. So let's go to Shedeur Sanders.
If I would have saw the game, I would have said something different.
Chad, you made a comment. Joe, you kind of also made a comment. But I do think, why can't we just live in the middle of things? You've got so many people that want to act like Shedeur earned the starting job in that one game. And then you've got all these other people that are like, he wasn't even all that good or whatever. And can I give you my opinion on it?
Sure.
Shedeur was some good and some not so good.
Yeah.
Shedeur didn't. I said it that night. I don't want him to move up the depth chart yet. We don't make that decision on one preseason game when none of your other quarterbacks even played or were healthy. You don't make that decision. I don't want him to move up the depth chart. I want him to earn everything that he has to earn. And I'm also, and I think we're not saying this enough, I'm not in a rush with this guy. I don't need to rush him up the depth chart. I don't need to be plopping him in there when he's not there yet. You said it, Joe. He made some really nice throws. He had some plays where he looked phenomenal. Everybody will talk about the touchdown passes, and rightly so. But he threw a dig route from his own end zone that was unbelievable. He made another perfect pass later in the game where they spotlighted it on the broadcast, and the defender was so in his face that they said that you could see he couldn't see where he was throwing it, but he threw it and it was the exact right spot for it to go. He did a lot of really beautiful things. He also missed some very easy passes. He also looked a little frazzled at times. That's okay. It's his first time playing in NFL action. And Joe, you said it. Here's what I want to be careful of on the scramble thing, guys. I want him to scramble smart. I want him to keep plays alive smart. I just don't want him to be stupid, kind of like you said, Joe, where he's running around in the backfield, losing 20 yards, trying to get it back. Joe, some reason you're muted. Your microphone's off again.
He did that a couple times. He had a couple of nice scrambles. So like, it's the same thing. It's not all bad. It's, just like if I'm going to pick out a concerning trait, like that is one. But he missed some open passes, but like he had a lot of nice touch on a lot of passes, and it's.
Chad, is it fair to say, Chad, that he successfully passed his first test as a guy that's trying to become the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback at some point in his life?
Yes. I think the important thing that people need to keep in perspective here, right? He's still a 5th-round pick, right? He's still in a developmental stage. He still has to work his way up and earn his way to take over the reins of this franchise. But I think the important thing to take away from this game, this past Friday or Saturday, whatever it was, you could clearly see that a foundation was there. I think what he proved on this first preseason game, I think what he proved is he can play quarterback in the NFL. Right, a lot of these narratives, a lot of everything that's been going on since the draft is he going to be a 2nd-round pick? Is he going to be a 1st-round pick? Should he be? Is he going to slip all the way into the late rounds? Right? Can he even play quarterback? I think that's the important first step that he took, is that the foundation is there for him to become an NFL quarterback. Whether he's going to be good, whether he's going to be great, whether he's going to be a franchise quarterback, that all remains to be seen. But I think the biggest thing that he proved in this first preseason game was that the foundation is there for him to be an NFL quarterback. And I hope he gets more opportunities whenever those come, and then we'll analyze them further there. I can't wait to see him, because I would love to see if he can improve on those things that he didn't do well. You talked about the scrambling ability. I think one of the nice things that I saw was his movement in the pocket.
Yes.
It was refreshing to see movement in the pocket, sidestepping, trusting his offensive line and trusting his running back to pick up blitzing linebackers. He did that, and he stayed there. He reset himself. He didn't panic in those situations too. That's one good thing that he did. He did not panic when it was in those situations. And he stepped up and made good throws. So I think that's my wholehearted take from this whole Shedeur Sanders thing. Like you said, some good, some bad. But the biggest thing I took away from this preseason game is that there's clearly a foundation there for him to be an NFL quarterback.
Boy, someday we're going to get the real story of what happened in that draft.
Yeah.
Because, listen, I
wait.
know. Well, listen, I know it's far from a guarantee that this guy's ever going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
As it is with any quarterback you draft.
Well, no, a lot of players
Yes.
are guaranteed
Yes.
from day one to be a starter. Are they going to be any good? Like Cam Ward is going to be a starter day one. Is he going to be any good? I don't know, but he's going to be a starter. But what I will say is this: it's already pretty apparent that something weird happened, because there is no way this dude was evaluated as a 5th-round draft pick. There's no way you had that many people that watched him play football and went, yeah, this guy just can't play. When you think about the fact that he got drafted in the same round as Dorian Thompson-Robinson, in the same round, and it just was so, I know everybody will come out and say, well, Dorian Thompson-Robinson looked good in his first preseason game. Nah, he didn't look like that.
He didn't look like that.
Absolutely not.
He didn't step up in the pocket and make throws like that. He didn't throw some absolute darts and dimes like that. And again, I'm not saying I don't know. I wouldn't bet money one way or the other on it, because I don't know. But there's no way the evaluations were really that. We're going to find out one day what happened. We're going to find out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. It's not going to be till like after Shedeur plays or if he becomes a franchise quarterback. But yeah, we'll find out one day.
I watch this kid and I'm like, yeah, this looks like a dude that got picked in the 2nd or 3rd round. Like this dude, or probably the second round. I think all the people that were like overhyping it like he's a top 5 pick were just being crazy because of his name, I think. But man, I'm like, this guy looks like I'm watching these other guys that got picked. A team took the Saints took Tyler Shook.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, he's better.
Hey, listen, I don't know what it is, but like it seems like NFL teams are scared of young guys with confidence. And if there's one thing Shedeur has, it's confidence, right? But he's just not as outspoken. But remember when everybody didn't like Baker because they thought he was a little bit cocky? No, he was just confident. You need a little bit of prick in you to be a franchise quarterback. You need a little bit of ego.
Gross.
You need what? Whoops. You need a little bit of confidence, like a little bit of ego about you to be a franchise quarterback because you got to be confident in yourself. And that's exactly what Shedeur is. But Shedeur, with that confidence comes the clear work ethic. I mean, you see all of these. I mean, by all the clips that you see online, you would think that Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett just don't even put in any extra work whatsoever. Like Shedeur's like the only quarterback putting in work on his Browns team.
But that's the media narrative too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all just so crazy. And
sure.
Again, it's the same thing. We had it on the OBR. There's just people that are never going to give him his credit. And then there's people that are never going to let you say anything negative about him. And the fact is there's plenty of negatives and there's plenty of positives right now. And we'll see how it progresses. But like, you know, you've got a group of people now that are like, they always come out and show Shedeur's the first guy out at practice. He's the last guy to go in after practice. You heard Shedeur's comments after the game when they asked him how he thought he played, and he was real hard on himself. And he's like, I don't think I seized the moment. I don't think I took advantage of this opportunity. They were like, what do you think your dad would say? And he was like, I don't know. I would just say, sorry, Dad. Like, yes, he coached up on some of that stuff a little bit. Is he coached up on the PR stuff a little bit? Of course he is. He's been in the spotlight forever. Of course.
Don't you want that though?
At the same time, that's okay.
It's great.
And you don't have to like, it's okay. It's good that he's out there first and last and all that. Like, it's okay. It's good. We don't have to, it doesn't have to be like, oh, he was just coached up on that. But you also don't have to praise him for everything too. He can just be a kid trying to make a football team. Like, right? Can we just do that and see where it goes?
Absolutely not. No, he's either the guy or he's not, Mike. All right, it's so black and white. Okay, that's it. That's all it's allowed to be. All right, we can never be rational about anything because we're Browns fans, we're masochists, and we love the pain. Okay, we love the pain.
Well, it sounds like we're not going to see him again, at least this week, as word came down today, actually. By the way, I love the way this series of events went because it was reported as the day went on. If you guys were watching like on Twitter or whatever, it was reported as the day went on, like, oh, Joe Flacco's getting the run with the ones, which he should because he's going to start at quarterback this year. If we can all please stop freaking out about that. Can I say something real quick for all the people that are really concerned about practice reps? I want Joe Flacco to get every rep with the ones for the rest of practice.
That's not dramatic. That's not dramatic enough. Can you make that more dramatic, please?
No, I'm good. I was good with what I said.
All right.
Joe Flacco needs to get all the snaps with the ones, and everybody else can work with the backups. And if you think that shouldn't be the case, you sound dumb because Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback. So
there's the drama. You sound dumb. That's what you want to put on Twitter. You sound dumb.
But it came down today. So they're saying Flacco gets reps, and then Dylan Gabriel's getting some reps, and Kenny Pickett's going in 7-on-7s, and all of a sudden, like Tyler Huntley was getting mentioned, but no mention of Shedeur Sanders, and the whole like the Shedeur army, I don't know what we're gonna call these people, just went ballistic. It was, oh, this team can't. This is an unserious franchise. This team can't be serious. Blah blah blah. And then word comes in that Shedeur Sanders twisted himself a little bit funny, and he has a strained oblique, and so they were kind of shutting him down for camp. Because he was not able to comfortably throw. Now they're saying it's not serious, but they are saying it's probably going to hold him out of Saturday's game against the Eagles. So I don't think we're going to see another look at Shedeur Sanders until the last preseason game.
Soldiers? Huh? Soldiers? See what I did there?
No.
Shit. All right. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, you know what? Let's brainstorm after the show.
All right, done.
So
Done.
wait, Mike, you're telling me that we have 4 other quarterbacks we can bitch about Saturday?
Correct. Well, you're not going to bitch about Flacco because he ain't playing in that game.
That's true.
I don't
3.
know. I mean, I think, to be honest with you, I think it's going to be the exact same thing as last week. Kenny Pickett's still not healthy. He's only getting run in 7-on-7s. So he's still hurt. So if I had to guess, guys, I think we're going to see the exact same situation as last week. I think you're going to see Dylan Gabriel play most of the game. And then like Tyler Huntley will come in like the middle to the end of the third quarter and just close it out. I would guess that's what it's going to be. And to be honest with you, I'm very excited for that. There's this weird, I know Shedeur is like this charismatic, big name guy that's really easy to like. And he's done a lot of good things since he's been in Cleveland. That's made him even easier to like. I find myself feeling that way. I find myself becoming more and more a fan of this kid as time goes on. But there's also this weird thing where it's like you're also rooting against Dylan Gabriel. If Dylan Gabriel's good, it's good for the Browns. Like, I want him to be good too. So I'm very excited. I hope that's the case for Saturday's game. I hope we get a heavy dose of Dylan Gabriel because I don't care who else plays in that game if we know Shedeur isn't going to play. So let's see what Dylan Gabriel's got, man. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to know what you have in both of these guys anyway. So Dylan was going to start. Dylan is going to play at some point this year, whether you want him to or not. Dylan is going to play because the one goal this year that the Browns need to have, like wins almost don't even matter to me this year. I need to know where I'm going at quarterback when this year is up. That's what I need to know. So you need to see what you have in either of these guys. You got a taste of Shedeur last week. You're probably going to get a taste of Dylan this week. So there,
and I'm excited to see it, and I'm going to root for Dylan Gabriel. Like I'm going to hope that he goes out there and kind of puts out the same level of performance that Shedeur Sanders put out, and I'm going to feel really good about that. Feeling like, oh, maybe the Browns, for the search that they've had since again World War II for a quarterback, if you can have 2 guys that give you a little bit of hope. If you got 2 guys that you think, oh my gosh, that guy looked pretty good and that guy looked pretty good, and maybe we feel like we're in good hands here moving forward, that's going to be awesome. So I am really, really anxious and really excited to see Dylan Gabriel out on the field for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. And guess what? If he sucks, then we know. Then we're going to start to know about Dylan Gabriel.
I don't think I'm going to make a judgment on Dylan Gabriel based on how he plays against the Philadelphia Eagles.
What are you talking about, Mike? We make judgments about everybody's performance in every single game. It's so fucking stupid.
If Dylan Gabriel goes out there and looks tough, like rough against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, okay, all right. Like, let's give him a shot to maybe go practice a little bit more and see if he gets better. Like,
nope. Oh. Why did you even draft this guy in the 3rd round? You could have had another receiver in the 3rd round. It's gonna be. This is the vicious cycle that we're in. This is the vicious cycle that we're in, Mike. When someone plays well, Browns fans are so conditioned to losing, and we're scared to say that. Oh, wow, we might actually have something here. We're so conditioned to the fact that we suck that we're afraid when someone's good. But if someone goes out there and plays terrible, or goes and plays well for someone else, whoa, you really missed out on this guy. It's just the cycle that we're stuck in, Mike, until we actually have the guy. So this is just how it's going to be. You can't be rational in Brown's world. You can't be rational, no matter. And even though we are rational, you can't be rational outside of like the OBR space. You just can't.
I think one thing I would love to know is how they're talking to Shedeur Sanders in the locker room, how Coach Kevin Stefanski is actually talking to Shedeur Sanders and Tommy Rees and them, because I did find it fascinating. I think it was a report on The Athletic, maybe. I don't remember where it was. No, I think it was actually Lane. I think it was our own Lane Atkins. I think him and Pete got together with an article. But one of the things that they kind of talked about was the Browns are kind of actively, I hate saying poo-pooing, but the Browns are actively like not feeding into the Shedeur Sanders hype. And the report was that there's like, they don't want to make it so that the first time Joe Flacco throws an interception or an incomplete pass or whatever, that everybody's just freaking out for Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
So it feels like the Browns are actually probably more excited about Shedeur than what they're letting on. but they're actively trying to downplay everything. So then you get the other side of things where like Kevin Stefanski doesn't like say anything about Shadir's performance like after the game or whatever. And people are like, Kevin Stefanski hates Shadir Sanders. I'm like, this is what they're trying to avoid. Like they're trying to just avoid public outrage because
the problem is that people are just looking for a story on it because Shadir sells, man. Shadir sells.
I don't even know if they're trying to avoid it. It's just that like they know. I think they know what's going to come of it, but like they're satisfied with their internal plan with Shador.
I think we just got one of my favorite comments of all time from a name that I am not familiar with. So welcome to the comment section from Polar Knights, which, by the way, don't know why we have a new font on our comments, but I'm into the Harry Potter font. I'm cool with it.
All right.
Polar Knight says, as a barber, I love this show. It is every stage of beard growth.
Let's go. Let's go.
Damn it. Next week, if we have a guest, we do have a guest next week, but I'm going to have to see if he can really grow out the beard. So it's like a Duck Dynasty situation, like a ZZ Top.
Yeah.
And then Polar Knights, it'll be like the stages.
I mean, give me a couple hours. I'll be back to full growth.
You know, like the Vince McMahon memes where it's like he goes from being more excited to more excited to more excited to more excited, and then he's like doing that in his chair. That'll be Polar Knights next week if we can get a great beard on the show. Yeah, listen. Elsewhere though, guys, I again, I'm excited about the quarterback thing. I think you're rolling into this season. I said it with Meredith last year, and I think I'm just going to be wrong. I think we're rolling into the season with 4 quarterbacks. I think they're just going to keep 4 quarterbacks, and frankly, why wouldn't you? You're the Browns. You're quarterback hell. You're the Browns. So, yeah. But I do also just love some of the other stuff I'm hearing.
Sure.
It just really feels like that Browns defensive line is in domination mode. And it feels like you're getting like that guy we were all excited about in Alex Wright back this year.
Yeah.
But now you have Isaiah McGuire who proved himself last year. And you've got some new defensive interior linemen that you're really excited about. And you got Myles Garrett. You've got apparently Greg Newsome just having a fantastic training camp across from Denzel Ward. Well, that makes up for Mark Anderson.
Yeah, 100%.
You got like it just feels like there's a lot of really good. Carson Schlesinger, man, it made a big name for himself over the last week. Defensively, guys, I'm kind of pumped about the Browns. I think we could. They were talking about it. I just premiered our new show that I'm doing with Fred Greetham. And a lot of the commenters on that show were talking about like a symbiotic relationship, like between the offense and the defense. And the general consensus seems to be like, if they could just have like a half decent offense, not a good offense, like an average offense, just like a Joe Flacco can keep them out on the field for a few first downs every drive. They're not doing what they did last year where they were just 3-and-out machines and they couldn't score more than 20 points in a game until like forever into the season and all that. It feels like, man, if that defense can go to the sideline and get a little bit of rest, we might be back into like top level defense territory. It really does feel like that.
And Bohica, bend over. Here it comes again, Browns fans. We're good. Just I mean, until they prove it, I'm not going to buy into it. Like I'm not going to. Like, I know I've said it plenty of times on this show before. The fan in me is out, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to look at this team objectively. And sure, yeah, I mean, I think that goes with any football team. I mean, if you can keep your defense off the field for a good few minutes, right? If you're not just going 3-and-out after 3-and-out after 3-and-out, that's going to benefit any defense. And this defense is very talented. So yeah, if you can get them some rest and keep them as fresh as they can be, sure, you're going to give yourself a chance. I mean, realistically, that's how this team is going to win football games if they're going to win football games this year. Is just if Joe Flacco can put just even some points on the board. I forget what they were averaging last year. I think it was like 15 points a game last year. Just something
like 3.
Yeah, something pathetic like that. So I mean, if he can just get us to like 20, 24 points a game, he can give us. It'll give us a good chance to win. So that's the formula for the Browns to be successful this year is sustained drives and the defense dominating. Will we get it? I don't know, but until I see it, Bohica.
All right, so before we get off the Browns, boys, what are the think about the position groups as we are rapidly coming to the end of training camp and we're getting towards the regular season. and we talk a lot about quarterbacks, and obviously I think we all know how the quarterback thing is situating. So while we're talking about it like crazy, I don't really think it's that interesting because Joe Flacco is going to start as your quarterback. When you think of other position groups, though, guys, where are you like excited? Where are you excited to watch the battles play out? Obviously, at wide receiver, you've got Jerry Jeudy. Apparently, Joe Flacco is really connected with Cedric Tillman. Below that, though, there's a lot of guys that have really impressed in camp that people are excited about. The linebacker position, I think, again, you got Schlesinger, and then it's like, who else is going to play? And so I think there's a lot of interesting stuff there. Which cornerback is going to step up? What kind of area of the team are you like kind of most excited about through the rest of training camp that you're watching? Like, these are the guys I want to see the rest of the way.
I just want to see how dominant that defensive line can really be. Like, I'm not training camp guy, but right. I mean, until the bullets really start flying. Like, yeah, sure. I'd love to see that, guys are playing well, that guys are staying healthy, but I'm excited to see that defensive line and how they can, and how dominant they truly can be. Otherwise it's, like you said receiver, who else is going to step up at receiver? This Gage Larvadain.
Yep.
Larvadain seems to be having a really good camp as well. Deontay Johnson, I'm really interested to see if he can have a comeback season, because if his head is right, he can be a really, really, really good third receiver or even second receiver in three wide receiver sets. So yeah, I guess wide receiver and defensive line are the matchups that intrigue me the most. I mean, this offensive line is what it is. So yeah, short answer, defensive line and wide receivers.
I think I'm really excited to see this tight end dream of Kevin Stefanski together. I really want to see Harold Fannin out there. Obviously, we know what we have in Njoku. Like, I think that is going to be the real catalyst of this offense this year. Like, they're going to be the difference makers if that tight end room and these formations that Kevin Stefanski is going to be running with them, if those can be rock solid, if they can block, if they can catch passes, that's going to be the difference maker. Because, I think one of the areas of concern for me on offense too is running back. Like,
of course.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have Judkins. You don't know when you're going to get him back, if you're going to get him back this year. And so you're really looking at Jerome Ford and Sampson. What's his first name?
Dylan Sampson.
And I think we kind of know what we have with Ford. He's not explosive or like the top tier running back, but he can be a workhorse. So excited to see some growth in Sampson and see what he can bring to the table. And, if we can get Judkins back, cool. But that's a very weird situation. Not weird, it's not the right word. Just an unfortunate situation that he's put himself in. And so who knows, we'll see him back. But I'm excited to see what the guys here can bring.
I love that you brought up running back, because that is really unfortunate. And it's something we're talking a lot about, Quinshon Judkins, and we don't always have to put it in the context of like who else they could have drafted or whatever, because they didn't know he was going to beat up his girlfriend when they drafted him. But like from a football only perspective, this job was his, man. This was his. Jerome Ford was going to go back to being what he is, which is a pretty good back in passing situations, and a pretty good like kind of change of pace guy, whatever. And man, this Quinshon Judkins was just set up to be the primary workhorse back for this football team. And now, again, I do feel like we'll probably get word that they're going to sign him at some point soon because of the legal news that came out with him that he's waiving his right to a speedy trial, which means they're probably not going to try him until
after the season,
January or whatever. Yeah. So probably going to sign him. The contract's probably not going to look nearly as nice as he wanted it to. But then the league's going to come in. Remember Mike Hall last year? Mike Hall for like a domestic violence thing that the person retracted, got suspended for 5 games. So I'm not really anticipating seeing Quinshon Judkins anytime soon with the Cleveland Browns, even if they do sign him. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up running back, because that's an area where, again, even just the camp battles, which of these guys is going to be the third guy? Well,
Yeah.
Marshall in the last game looked really good. Travion Williams looked really good. Like, there's other guys. Which guy's going to be the other guy that fills in? Because they're going to get playing time. So there's just right now with the Browns in a non-negative way, which is kind of nice outside of Judkins and outside of the fact that there's just this looming fucking specter of Deshaun Watson like roaming around the sideline, just looming there. He's like a goddamn ghost in a scary movie. It's like the worst, the insidious ghost or whatever. He just looms around. Pretty much everything else, though, it's all fun stuff. It's like, all right, let's see which of these guys are going to make a name for themselves. I'm really excited for that. Again, the linebacker position. I think these guys, these kind of like depth guys, Winston Reed and who's the kid they got out of Mississippi State?
Nathaniel Watson.
Oh man, they look good. Like I think some of these guys are going to be able to come in and make a name for themselves. So I really do think it's going to be a fun kind of end of training camp, assuming they can stay out of the injury bug a little bit longer. And then it's go time, and then it's Joe Flacco. And if you get 2023 Joe Flacco, and you get the defense, if you get 2023 defense and 2023 Joe Flacco, this could be a fun year for the Browns. Yeah. It could also be Bohica time, right, Chad? Bohica.
That's Bohica until proven otherwise. Like guilt, like like an innocent until proven guilty thing. It's Bohica until proven otherwise.
All right, man. Let's get off the Browns. The Browns play the Eagles on Saturday. They've got one more joint practice with the Eagles tomorrow. And then I think it's an off day Friday. They play Saturday, so we'll talk about that next week. But, boys, before we get into our next sports segment, let's break it up in the middle here with our Asshole of the Week segment, where we call somebody out there who deserves to be called out for being an asshole. And, Joe, why don't you lead us off? I'm letting Chad go last here again. Joe, you go ahead and lead us off.
Yeah, I mean, this is so minor, but like the side of it just like pissed me off. And it's a small, it's a little thing. It's a little nit. But the Yankees, like, the assholes Yankees fans, and like they've been like really stinking it up recently, like real bad. Like Guardians are on the cusp of taking over them in the wild card right now.
Yes,
they're
correct.
out of the playoff picture, not out of the playoff picture, but out of the current wild card standings. And these motherfuckers, they went on to beat the AAA Twins 9-1.
Correct.
And someone posted, Yankees crushed the Twins. We're back. And I was just like,
we back.
I didn't even see who it was because I couldn't get any more attention or just bandwidth because it's already been a long week. But I just, what are we doing? Like, chill. It's the Twins. They gave away 10 roster players.
The 10 like players.
Players, rostered players at the trade deadline. They're a bunch of AAA guys right now. Don't get too excited. Like, you should win every single game against the Twins. Don't get too excited. You won 9-1.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't know.
Fair.
That just pissed me off. Just
zip it. All right, my asshole of the week is ChatGPT. But I have a little bit of a story to tell.
How dare you?
You're going to be mad because this involves your nephew. I have a little bit of a story to tell you involving ChatGPT. And so I was outside maybe 2-3 weeks ago, hanging out outside. I was actually sanding down a bookshelf, and Patrick was outside. My son, my 8-year-old, was outside with me, and he still has his big wheel, and he had like a piece of wood that he put on it, and it looked like it had wings, like it was like a big wheel airplane. And it was very funny. He stood on it. He was standing on it, coasting it down the driveway and singing, I Believe I Can Fly. And it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So I go on to ChatGPT because I think it's fun to do this kind of stuff. And I took a picture of Patrick on his big wheel with wings, and I said, can you turn this into a cartoon? And of course it did, a little cartoon picture. It was very cute. It was awesome. I said, question for you. Can you turn this into like a short cartoon video where you've got my cartoon son riding his big wheel with wings, E.T. style, where it takes off and flies, and you show him flying like over the cartoon city of Cleveland. And that's what I asked it, right? And it goes, Heck yeah. I'll whip this up for you. It might take a little bit of time because there's a lot of stuff that goes. Oh, and I asked if you could play I Believe I Could Fly in the background. It was like, if I can get all that put together, yeah, I can absolutely do it for you. Commence 2 straight weeks of like nothing. And me talking to ChatGPT like it's a person. I felt so stupid through this whole process because I'm sitting there talking to ChatGPT like, hey, when's this going to happen? And every time I would ask that question, it'd be like, hey, there was a little snag with this, but I'm working on it. And I promise you, I'm going to have this in your hands as soon as possible. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then it just wouldn't. And then it wouldn't. And then it wouldn't. And so finally, I'm talking to it like an upset customer. I'm like, this isn't going to happen, is it? And this was just this last weekend. And it was like, you're right. This isn't going to happen. And I lost it. I was yelling at ChatGPT. And I was like, it's the most outrageous. I said, a human being has never lied to me the way ChatGPT just lied to me. I've never been deceived by a person the way that I was just deceived by ChatGPT. I asked it, I go, who wrote this into your code? Like, who made this a thing? And it was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. I'm like, quit telling me that you're sorry. And I'm like, from now on, you need to be better. You don't sugarcoat things. You need to be honest. You need to be straightforward. And so you know how it responded to me? It goes, you're right. And just so you know, that video project was never going to happen. It was never close. I was like, I'm going to fight a robot somewhere.
This made me like ChatGPT way more than you.
Dude, you're going to be put on its list.
I hope I'm on its list.
It's going to put you on a list, man. It's going to be sentient in like 2 years and be like, Michael Keith pissed me off, and it's going to like turn off all your lights.
It told me to be honest. No, it's going to turn off all my lights.
And just so you know, it was never going to happen.
Oh, what a snarky son of a bitch at the end. I was like, what? I was like, that didn't make this better.
You are a piece of shit, Mike, and I will
ChatGPT.
never make you a video.
And it's also an asshole because I told Patrick I was doing it, and Patrick asked me like every day for 2 weeks, like, is that ready yet? Is the video ready? And I had to go to him and say no. So total asshole ChatGPT.
Oh, did you tell ChatGPT it ruined his son's life? Your son's life?
I did. I was like, my son's super disappointed in you. And it responds. Of course, it always responds like, that hurts me more than you'll ever know. And I'm like, shut up. You're a robot.
Yeah.
Anyways, just know, ChatGPT can lie to you. I like unleashed on it like I was in a fight with like my significant other. I go, you know what else you've done, ChatGPT? I've asked you for some things, for ideas for the podcast or like games or whatever, and you've given me some bad information and you've made me look stupid. And it's like, you're right. I maybe got some stuff wrong. I'm like, knock it off. Get stuff right. I went full like I'm in a fight.
Be perfect.
Mode.
Jesus.
I went full I'm in a fight.
Like
mode,
like Dan in New Delhi is like really like giving you the business. Like wherever this ChatGPT is.
Dan.
All right. That's my asshole of the week. Chad, I've been waiting all show for yours. What's your
Oh, it's my life. Today fucking sucked. Like today fucking sucked. Maybe the last like 2 days fucking sucked. So, all right, quick backstory here. I'll try and make it as, I don't want to like drag it out, but so before I left for vacation, right? So I have a cat. His name's Figaro. Daughter named it because Mickey Mouse's cat. So we got it like 5 years ago. Anyway, never had any problems. Never had any problems with this cat. No problems whatsoever. Got it a new litter box because I broke the door on its litter box trying to wash it out because apparently my hairy gorilla muscles are just too fucking strong, and I just broke the door off this thing. So I got one of those like automatic litter boxes, and we figured that would be good because it was like self-cleaning, right? It was like you didn't have to empty it over the week while we were gone. So fast forward to the night before we're about to leave. I walk into the office in the basement, right? I walk into the office in the basement. I'm like, what is that smell? What the fuck? What is going on here? The cat, I I went to everything. I went to like the closet. I went to like my wife's desk. I went to everything. Her like little treadmill she has down there. All of a sudden, I get to the bed and it is chock full of the cat piss smell. Just a cat piss smell, and I'm like,
That's the worst.
Great. Like, is she mad, or does she have like a urinary tract infection just before we're about to leave on vacation? So I took her to the vet ER. I didn't even know that fucking existed
It sure does, and they know how to take your money.
before this had to happen. So 8:00 at night, I'm taking the cat to the vet ER just to make sure she doesn't have a UTI when so many other animals are like going through some other shit, right? So I'm there. I take her in. Fast forward to 12:30 that night. We're leaving at like 7 in the morning. Fast forward to 12:30 at night. They finally give me this goddamn cat back, saying, "Oh yeah, we haven't tested the cat yet, but we did a physical exam and she looks pretty good. Her bladder's great. So, do you want to wait? Do you want to wait a little bit longer? Because it's going to take 3 to 5 days for the testing results to come back to you, huh?"
Keep the damn cat until Sunday of next week.
Just give me my goddamn cat back. Whatever. Hey, okay. So we can give her a 2-week antibiotic, which should take care of the UTI, and it should be good to go, right? So instead of $500, it's going to be $250 for this. I'm like, I can't. I have to do it. All right, cool. All right. So we go on this great vacation, an amazing vacation.
Oh no.
We come back. And we see the cat happen to see us meowing her little ass off. She's so happy.
She's
just rubbing up against our legs. Great. Oh, awesome. Yeah, the antibiotic must have worked. It's amazing. So we start to unpack.
Oh no.
Take the suitcase, because my wife's closet is downstairs. Take the suitcase to unpack her clothes into the office. What's that smell? What's that? Did the cat piss on the bed again?
Mm-hmm.
3 puddles of piss.
Yep.
All over the bed. All over the bed. Not only did this bed, did it ruin the mattress cover? It sank all the way into like deep down, like into the mattress. There's a huge stain of just cat piss, right? So turns out we gotta trash, like Joey said, we gotta trash this mattress now. Luckily it's our guest bedroom, so it's not like we had to get a new bed for ourselves. Luckily it's our guest bedroom, so we can wait.
Note to self: don't go sleep at Chad's house.
So we take the mattress out.
Oh no.
Take the mattress out. All right, fine. Whatever. We'll disassemble the bed another day. Whatever. We'll get another bed to come up here. Fine. Go into the living room. What's that smell?
Oh no.
What's that smell? She pissed all over the couch.
Oh.
She pissed all over the couch. Luckily, it was only one cushion. So the other cushion is still there. Got a big old couch. All right. And we're trying to get the stains out of that. But turns out that's ruined too, because the piss sank all the way into the couch.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
so now, not only do we got to get a bed, we got to get a couch. Awesome. Fucking awesome. Oh, by the way, she also was going in her litter box this entire fucking time too. Like, she's been shitting and pissing in her litter box this entire fucking time too. Great. So we're in, at least $1,200 minimum for a new bed and a new couch right now, right? This morning.
Oh God.
This morning. What's that sound? What's that sound? Something's going on. Is that the washer? We go downstairs. Oh, it's coming from the furnace. The furnace is making a funny noise.
Oh no.
All right, I'll call Anderson Heating and Cooling today.
Why's your furnace making any noise right now?
We'll come on that. We'll come out in 30 minutes or whatever. Your furnace is broken. You're going to need a new one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
So we get back from vacation, a nice vacation, spending a lot of dough, spending a lot of money.
A lot of dough.
A lot
Have
of
a couple extra beers, some lobster rolls while you're out there,
So
Brown butter lobster rolls.
So
in
70,
Baja.
Brown
so
butter.
$7,500 fucking dollars later, they're coming Friday to put the new furnace in, boys.
Oh,
Fuck today. Fuck yesterday. Fuck this entire week. It sucks.
luckily, we make so much money on this show that you should have that covered.
I'm hearing
Yeah.
a couple of things here, Chad. I'm hearing one. You need people to pay you for fantasy football for last year.
Yeah, sure do. I need that. Reach out right now. Brittany,
Sure
I know you're
do.
watching this. I don't care. I'll call you out. Brittany, I don't know who else is in the league, but yeah, I'm gonna need that like soon.
Dude, like I would just burn down the house at that point. The
Oh,
khaki
dude,
smell,
like-
that doesn't cut. That's in. That's in there
Mhm.
for good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's all coming down. I just gotta like take a cross and with holy water on it, just exercise
Yeah,
the
you gotta-
demons. Just
Yeah,
exercise the
get you some
demons out of here.
sage.
Fuck this. Fuck that cat. Fuck furnaces. Fuck life. Fuck everything.
That's a lot of it's a lot of assholes.
Yeah,
Cute cat. This is a cute cat name too.
it is, and it's a great
And the
cat up
cat's
until this point.
Great cat
Cat's
name.
made a few
Figaro.
appearances on the podcast,
Yeah, sure has.
but yeah,
It's
your cat's the primary asshole of the week.
Yeah,
That
it's
is.
about to make its last appearance because I'm about to throw it off this fucking porch.
All right, those are our assholes of the week. Chad, excellent story, my man. Excellent story. All right, boys, a couple topics I want to get into over the next 25 minutes or so. But guys, a little quick starter with this. And Chad, you apparently have an Ohio State guest for us to get excited about at some point soon.
Yeah.
But guys, college football is we are 2 weeks away from college football kicking off. We've spent so much time talking about training camp and the Browns and all that, but we are before that all happens, college football is going to be back. And as you'll remember, the last time we saw college football, your Ohio State Buckeyes,
That's right.
after losing to Michigan once again, stormed through literally the most dominant performance in the college football playoff you could have dreamed up. They dominated Tennessee. They dominated Oregon. Dylan Gabriel, current Cleveland Brown, absolutely got smashed in the Rose Bowl. They had that really good win against Texas. I won't say they dominated Texas because Texas was on the verge of coming back in that game when you had the Jack Sawyer forced fumble touchdown. That was awesome. And then they went in and just handled Notre Dame in the national championship game to the point where I went to watch it with my buddy who's a Notre Dame fan. And I think I went home at halftime I'll just go watch the rest of this national championship from the comfort of my own couch. That's the last we saw of college football. So a couple things that have happened. I want to talk about Ohio State in a minute because there's so many things to talk about with them. But just recently, they came out with the first of this year's AP poll. So I want to put it up on the screen here. The AP poll for this college football season is out officially. And let's talk about any interesting things that we see here. And I think you got to just start right at the top. Your defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes are 3. Do I think that's super fair? Do you guys think that's super fair? Because I do, absolutely. They still have a lot of really good players on that team, but we do not know who the quarterback is at this point.
Yeah.
So it's very fair to say we're not really sure who the quarterback is. Having said that, I feel like the two teams above them are only there because of the names of their quarterbacks. We're finally going to get to see Arch Manning and Drew Aller. This is a big, big year for our boy from Medina, Drew Aller, over in Penn State. When you look at the top of this, Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think it's the battle of the quarterbacks up there. I mean, you have Arch Manning, who was awesome to watch last year when he was stepping in for Quinn Ewers. And then Drew Aller, who just progressively each year is just coming out stronger and stronger. And it's been really cool to see his progression, especially just since he's a Medina guy. That makes total sense. And yeah, I agree with your take, Mike. The Buckeyes, they're not announcing. They might know their quarterback. They're not announcing their quarterback yet. And so how could you put them any higher than 3 when you have established signal callers for those other 2 schools and really good programs around them? So I think that's fine. It's a preseason poll. Who really, it's fine.
Yeah,
I hate Clemson's on 4. I'm so pissed at Clemson. They just annoy the hell out of me, and I would just rather not see them at 4 again. But yeah, I think that's fair.
I'm actually kind of surprised Clemson isn't 3 because they also have an established signal caller in Cade Klubnik. So it's. Do we want to have the James Franklin conversation now? He's just and big game James. Do we want to have that conversation now? But
it'll be after this year.
Yeah, I see why. I see why Penn State is that. Not only is Drew Aller back, but like they're returning like everybody except like the right tackle, I think. So yeah, Penn State is good. If there was a year for James Franklin and Penn State to take it all, this is going to be the year to do it. And if you're Ohio State, you have no idea, right? It's a fear of the unknown. You have no idea what you have in Julian Saint. Obviously, they come in very hyped. Julian Saint and Lincoln Kleinholz comes in with a lot of hype, but you have no idea. But the rumor is Kleinholz is really, really challenging Julian Saint for the job. Although I think it's going to be Saint in the end. But it is. It's the unknown. But the thing with Ohio State is, you're starting this year with the best offensive player in the country and the best defensive player in the country.
Yes.
And that's a good foundation. That's a good fucking foundation. Right. And Julian Saint's going to have plenty of weapons there to be able to be productive. But yeah, Texas, it's kind of weird for me, right? Like, yeah, Arch played a little bit last year, but you don't know what kind of quarterback he's going to be.
No.
Just because, yes, his name is Manning and chances are he's going to be really good. But we haven't seen enough of them to really claim it. But yeah, obviously, it's Texas is also returning a lot of talent, especially defensively. So yeah, I'd say that top 3 is about right. If they put Clemson at 3, I would have gotten it, and Ohio State at 4, I totally would have gotten it. But yeah, it's about right for me, that top 3.
Yeah, I feel like Texas is. I feel like Texas is maybe. I think everybody wants Texas to be number 1. I feel like that's where we're at right now. Don't tell me about Arch Manning until we've seen him throw more. I think he's thrown 60 some or 70 passes in his entire college career. We've been talking about this kid like he's this next coming of Tom Brady or his Uncle Peyton.
Right.
When we don't even know if he's Eli, we don't know if he's anything yet. He's looked like I know, Joe, you said he's looked pretty good. You said he's looked pretty good. He's looked like nothing because he's played for 4 minutes in college.
I mean, for the love of God, he's Cooper's kid, and Cooper's in real estate. Let's pick him on. Come on.
I just the Arch Manning thing, and maybe he's going to come out and just blow everybody out of the water, and that'd be fine. But if Arch Manning was the next thing, he never beat out Quinn Ewers. Let's let this kid prove it out on the field,
for sure,
please, before we just go anoint this team. I know Texas has a pretty good roster. They definitely deserve to be at the top here, or within the top. But I don't know about that. I hate Penn State eternally from everything in my being, except for Drew Aller, because I think James Franklin is the worst.
Yes.
And I think he's the worst in certain areas, and developing a quarterback. I think he is literally the worst coach in all of college football at developing a quarterback. Drew Aller, I think, is succeeding in spite of James Franklin. And so we'll see. Again, I think you're right, Chad. I think they're very deep and all that. Ohio State, you can't argue with them here. They won the national championship, and they still got a lot of, you're talking about Jeremiah Smith coming back. Come on.
Still Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, and Brandon Innes. And you have Max, I forget his last name, but that transfer, the top tight end in the transfer portal from Purdue, whoever it is at quarterback is going to have a lot of guys to make things really easy for them. So yeah, it shouldn't be too long before we.
Like you said, there's also that guy named Caleb Downs on the defensive side, and that guy is awesome. When you look at the top 25. Again, Clemson, Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, Miami, rounding out the top 10. I don't think any of those should be surprising to anybody. I mean, you got a lot of SEC love in there. You got a lot of what ifs. Alabama, I think, is just starting to drift off into well, we think they're going to be good, but maybe they're not really that. Nick Saban's not there anymore. Maybe they're not that program anymore. Other interesting things, though, here, guys. How about that number 12 team? How about that number 12 team on this AP preseason top 25? Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois at 12?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think Illinois is going to be a good football team. But, man, oh, man, when was the last time Illinois came in at 12 coming into the season?
No, it's been quite a while. Probably back when Simeon Rice was still there. But Illinois got a lot of veteran players. They got a lot of veteran players coming back off of I believe it's a 8-4 team. I want to say, and then Brett Bielema. Brett Bielema pretty much wins wherever he goes. Is he a national championship type coach? No, not really. But he builds a program into contenders, into winners, into tough teams. Right. I mean, look at what he did at Wisconsin all those years. And he was pretty good at Arkansas for quite a while, but that was in the heyday of the SEC. SEC isn't what they are now. They used to be. But yeah, I mean, he was pretty good at Arkansas. So yeah, Illinois, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Big Ten this year. So they're not to be overlooked. I mean, them being ahead of Michigan too, especially with how much hype Bryce Underwood has coming in.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a really, really interesting season in the Big Ten. Especially
what's interesting about this ranking too, talking Big Ten, SEC, where's all of our newcomers to the Big Ten?
Yeah.
I don't see any of them on here.
Yeah.
Well, Oregon's right there.
Where? Oh,
number 7. You see the one at number 7?
He's okay. No. All right. Well, regardless, Washington, UCLA, USC, not on the list. Surprising.
I'm very curious how Indiana's going to follow up that last season because they have a much, much, much better quarterback in Fernando Mendoza, transferring in from Cal. I mean, there's a kid that threw for over 3,000 yards last year, and he's going to be. I mean, will they be playoff contenders? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe. But I with a much, much better quarterback play than they're going to have from last year, I wouldn't sleep on them. And the other thing that sticks out to me, Mike and Joey, I don't know if you've guys seen this. Texas Tech. How about spending all that money just to get ranked 23rd?
Yeah, right.
They have they spent more money than Texas. They have a higher paying roster. They're like the highest paid roster in college football this year, just to get ranked 23rd.
Yeah. When you're the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. I said Ramblin' Wreck because Georgia Tech, but I'm losing my mind.
Right.
The Ramblin' Red Raiders.
When you're the Red Raiders of Texas Tech, that's about as high as you get ranked, to be honest with you. That's about that's where you go. You brought up Indiana. Curt Cignetti, man. If he comes out running his mouth again as the head coach of Indiana football, you better not. I hope he learned a lesson last year. You don't run your mouth when you're the head coach of Indiana football. Remember him last year talking shit, like talking trash about Ohio State and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Just got a mud hole stomped. If fun is fine, but you don't get to unless you really do something special at Indiana. You don't get to be like cocky and arrogant. What are you doing? You're Indiana football. 97% of people that root for Indiana couldn't have named anybody on that team last year. You're a basketball school. Leave it alone. Oh,
they're going to start 3-0, and I guarantee you he's going to be he's going to be all over the place.
Well, yeah, because they caught a lot of grief. Remember, they got out of all their contracted big games.
Yeah, for sure.
And Curt Cignetti was like, "Well, the SEC does it," and you're like, "Oh, okay, Curt. Oh, right, Lord, you are an idiot."
At least they're going to get tested early, right? Like their first 3 weeks. This is why I said they're going to be 3-0. Their first 3 weeks is Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State.
Right.
But then week 4, they play number 12 Illinois. So they're going to finally get tested early. Remember last year, it was like they haven't been tested yet, but they're going to get tested early in week 4 this year. So that's going to be the one I think everybody points to.
I can't remember. They were supposed to play somebody this year, and they dropped it and brought in one of those like directional schools or whatever. Like that's what they did.
Directional? What does that mean?
Northeast Missouri State of the South. I have to say this. I have to say this as an alumni, number 19. Should I feel like I need you to tell me this because I need to know how to feel about this. My Texas A&M Aggies are ranked number 19. If you were a Texas A&M fan, would you be happy with that ranking, or would you be upset about that ranking?
I would be complacent because like that's where I'm going to be a year in and year out. Like it's. I mean, they're probably going to win a big game, which is going to send them into the top 10, but they're going to go right back down and lose after they lose a big game. So they're just going to hover between like 10 and 20 the entire year.
What I need to know, I guess what I'm asking is, when A&M comes in with kind of lowered expectations, it's like what we talk about with our Cleveland teams. They usually do pretty well when they come in with lowered expectations. But when they come in ranked a certain spot and they kind of have expectations, they go 8-4 and they play in the who gives a shit bowl.
Right.
What is this? Is this lowered expectations, or is this like expectations where they're going to dump their pants? I don't know. I don't know what 19 is.
Average expectations for A&M.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. If you're an A&M fan, this is like this slot's about right.
Well, then I feel like
I
maybe
don't know
we could
enough
have a good
about
year.
SMU, but like I don't know anyone else above A&M that I would necessarily knock off.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm trying to decide like if I think like people are going to be talking about them like, oh, A&M's a dangerous team this year, then they're going to suck. They're going to suck real bad, and because they're going to have expectations.
Cautious optimism. I think that's the model that I would
feel
go.
like
Cautious optimism.
I feel like if you're saying like this is average, then I feel like maybe I do have a little bit of that cautious optimism because maybe those expectations aren't great, and that's what I'm looking for.
You could get into the playoff. You could get into the playoff this year at 12.
All right.
12.
All right.
What are you guys' take? This is a little off topic, maybe a conversation for another day. But I think Ryan Day was part of this conversation of conference games and how the Big Ten plays 9 conference games a season. SEC only plays 8. Why is that like not talked about more? Maybe it is talked about more, but like, is that a significant advantage for the SEC that they only play 8 conference games?
I don't know, man. I think some of that gets just so. I think it gets overblown, overlooked. I don't know. I don't know that I have a big
overblown to overlooked. Those are very different.
Or yeah, I guess I didn't mean overlooked. I think it gets overblown. I think it's like a talking point that a coach wants to complain about. I guess I don't know. I guess I don't really like all the whole conference thing. Every conference hates every other conference, and they all talk shit about each other, and it is what it is.
I think that argument was more relevant when it was the top 4.
That's fair. I do think that's fair.
In the playoff. I think that argument was more relevant because you're not comparing apples to apples when you don't play the same amount of conference games if it's the top 4. But now that it's 12 and expanding to 16, I don't think you can look at it the same way. Right. I think the SEC, I think you just got to look at the schedules as a whole because, you're going to have, these 9-3 teams getting in at, 14, 15 and 16. Now that's relatively going to have the same type of year. So, yeah, I think back when it was the top 4, it was a better argument. But now it's just kind of like whatever. We just got to judge by what type of year that they're going to have.
I think that's a really good answer. And I think that the judgment of it going from top 4 to top 12 totally changes that conversation.
Yeah.
Because again, when we get to the end of the year, and this is the best part about it, and anybody that still doesn't like it is an idiot.
Yeah.
Let me get dramatic again. An idiot. In the end of the year, we're going to be debating whether the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th team deserved it over the 12th team. I will live there forever when we're trying to really determine who should be the national champion.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this playoff again.
Yeah, me too. It was so good.
So fun.
Yeah, me too,
man. So fun.
And listen, there's a chance you get to the first round again and it's just 4 blowouts again. Who cares? Sure. There's going to be years where you get a big upset in that first round.
I was
And
going to
it's
say
going to be really fun.
I'm going to say there's also that chance of getting a big upset.
And I don't
that's going to
know
make
if
it all worth it.
I don't know if that's going to be like the norm. Maybe not this year, but like in subsequent years, like I feel like the talent disbursement because of this playoff structure will be more average
I think you're right.
across.
It'll spread a little
college
bit. It'll
football.
spread out a little bit.
It'll spread, and so you're like you will still have some blowouts of 1 versus 12 seats, but like you'll have some good 2-11 and 3-10 games in this playoff bracket going forward because the talent's going to get more dispersed, and that's I think partially NIL related, but partially because this bracket's expanded.
By the way, if we ever do get 1 versus 12 game, that means the 12 upset the 5th seed, and that'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Yeah. I forgot about the buys.
But that'd be really fun anyway. And by the way,
fun.
can we go back to something? The best thing that they did is they allowed those first round games to be home games. That is the greatest freaking thing. We had a home playoff game at Ohio State, and it was electric. Remember the Tennessee takeover? Oh, Tennessee's taking over. Tennessee's taking over the horseshoe. Yeah, Tennessee left with their tails shoved so far up their asses that they were coming out of their mouths. You idiots. Tennessee.
And the fact that they all came out shirtless, then like 30 seconds later put all their shirts on just to try to tough the cold. They're like,
they ain't seen cold like that.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith scored that first touch. I think it was Smith that scored the first touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. And those shirts went right on. Just boom, shirts. Shirts. I do want to do one last thing before we actually, this will probably just be the last thing we do, and then we'll call it a show, and then we'll have more fun with other stuff next week. But while we're on college football, let's look at the 2025 Ohio State football schedule. Again, the defending champions, and I love this.
Texas is a trap game for Grambling. Texas is a trap game for Grambling.
Joey loves his trap games. I absolutely love this.
That's what I'm looking at.
I know, but we will get to what you're looking at. I know what you're looking at, Joe. You can get some tickets. I love that we are kicking this season off. Oh, my whole tone can change in 1 week because I'm not going to sit here and talk about how great I think Arch Manning is until he shows that he's great. And he's going to get a chance week 1 against Caleb Downs and the Ohio State Buckeyes defense, the defending national champs at Ohio State in Columbus. That is Arch Manning's first test of his, really his first test of his young football career. But I love that Ohio State at number 3 in the AP poll is opening up against Texas at number 1. I mean, like this is why, one, this game isn't going to matter either way in terms of either of these teams' playoff competition abilities.
Right.
Which is why I wish more teams would just do this. Schedule that game week 1. You got plenty of time to recover from it if you lose it.
Yeah.
But what a marquee matchup. This is awesome. This is an awesome marquee matchup week 1.
Yeah, the team you are at the start of the season isn't going to be the team you are at the end of the season. Ohio State clearly showed that last year. But yeah, how could you hate that? How could you hate that? How could you hate this premier matchup to open the season? Granted, week 0 is the 23rd. I'll be watching that, but
of course, 10 days from today. 10
days from today. How could you not love that? A 1 versus 3 matchup to open the regular season, the actual regular season. What the hype, I don't know.
A rematch of the semifinals from last year.
Yeah.
Arch Manning versus probably Julian Sayin.
Oh, that Texas team talks so much shit too.
Do you guys care that it's at noon? Like, do you care about that whole big noon to prime time argument?
Nah, I love it. Let's have a good, solid noon game.
Humble the boys. Yeah, play football.
Joe, you're gonna have to wake up early to watch that game.
That's 9 a.m.
That's 9 a.m.
That's 9 o'clock beers that day.
That's a great time to have a beer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I love that. I look at the rest of the schedule. Grambling, Ohio is what it is. Although
Grambling's a trap game for Ohio. Grambling's a trap game for Ohio.
But I always think those games against a team like Grambling are cool. That they like. Imagine you're a football player for Grambling. You're like, yeah, hell yeah, we get to go play in the Horseshoe. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You get the early bye week, and then Joey, they're coming out to you in Seattle, man. If you got to get tickets to that game.
I just texted the wife. I said I think we're going to a game on September 27th at Husky Stadium. I don't know what the hell they call it, but
you go tail yachting. You go tail yachting, tail boating. Tail yachting, tail boating.
Is it?
I could get a paddleboard and a cooler.
Has Ohio State ever played there?
Well, I'm sure they have. They've played Washington before. I don't know if they've played at Washington.
Man, it's been.
I don't know.
It's been a minute.
It would have been decades probably before they last played there.
That was one of the cooler things I saw when we came out to see Joe in Seattle last year. Then we came out for my buddy's wedding, and we drove by because the campus is right there by downtown.
Yeah.
And we drove past it, and I could see the football stadium on the water, man. I'm like, man, that place is gorgeous.
It's a cool looking stadium. It's right on the water. I think I'm gonna have to go to that game, boys.
Sailgating. They call it sailgating because it's all the sailboats in the water behind.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So guys, look at the schedule. Take Texas out because obviously the first game you're concerned about for Ohio State is the game against Texas. But then you go down the list. What's the next game that concerns you? Is it the Illinois game? Does Illinois does Illinois concern you at 12? I know they're coming in ranked number 12, but do they really concern you? You get the game at Washington. This could be Luke Fickell's last season as the head coach of Washington because they have been
Wisconsin.
I'm sorry, not Washington, Wisconsin. Wisconsin has been bust city under Luke Fickell, and I know Ohio State fans still have love for him, but woof. You got that Penn State game. I love the fact that the number 1 and 2 seeds coming into the season are both on Ohio State's schedule for this year. That's fun.
At home.
What's the next one? What's the next one that really concerns you after that Texas game?
You know what I find something interesting about that Penn State game is Penn State also has a bye week the 25th. So they're both going to be coming off of a week of rest. Yes. So I actually really love that. To be honest with you, because both teams just kind of shaking the rust off. It's almost going to be like week 1 versus Texas again. But I don't know that obviously you look at that last game. Mike. I mean, can the mental hurdle, can Ryan Day leap that mental hurdle that is Michigan on that last game? I don't know that other games concern me. Obviously, Illinois is going to be a tough matchup. At Wisconsin, no. I mean, Penn State, coming off both teams coming off a bye week, I don't know that concerns me either. Although it is going to be interesting to see. I like the one thing I really want to see from Drew this year is just for him to just unleash, just some downfield ball. Like if he can develop a downfield passing game this year, I think Penn State's going to be very, very, very dangerous.
Well, and Penn State, like just when you look at their schedule. No, they don't have any early tests. They don't play any good out of conference games. September 27th, Oregon at Penn State. That's going to be a whiteout game. It's a night game at Penn State. So good luck, Oregon, there.
Right.
But then even after that, UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, like they're not playing anybody until they get to Ohio. So Penn State probably is coming into that game. If they're not undefeated, something really bad happened.
Right. Yeah. So, I don't.
Their schedule, they have the easiest schedule on the planet. I just looked at it. Penn State. Hold on. Listen to Penn State's schedule real quick. They kick things off Nevada at Penn State, Florida International at Penn State, Villanova, which is not, it's like a minor football program at Penn State. Then they get Oregon at Penn State at night. And then the rest
4 straight home games to start off the season.
Listen to their conference schedule, though. It's Oregon at home. That's a tough game. They got to go to UCLA. They get Northwestern at home. They got to go to Iowa. They got to go to Ohio State. That's the tough one. At home against Indiana. On the road at Michigan State. At home against Nebraska and on the road at Rutgers. Like for as far as a Big Ten schedule goes, they have the easiest one out of everybody.
That's not too bad at all.
Honestly, outside of that Michigan game, I don't think that there's a game that concerns me that much. Obviously, Illinois and Penn State are going to be tough, but I'm not, oh, that's a loss. That's a loss. It's going to be tough games, but there's nothing that really jumps out at me that's going to be like, oh, wow, outside of Texas.
That is perfectly said, Chad. Like, those are tough games. Nothing concerns me outside of that Michigan game, though.
Yeah.
And I think that is rightfully so. Like, how could you not be concerned about another matchup against Michigan that we cannot win? Last year was the year we should have demolished Michigan, and we did not. And so it's like, who knows? It's like the Browns going to the season. Who knows what you're going to get?
Right. Right.
Well, and you'll obviously have to see, like, you should probably make it hard against Penn State and turn that into a night game and make it like just a
blackout or a scarlet out or something.
Demon zone at the Horseshoe. Like that should just be, you should play that to your full advantage. I kind of agree with you guys, right? Like none of this other, the Big Ten has a lot of shitty football teams in it. Just so many. Again,
I would say though more than ever now they have good football teams. It's weird because like there's no middle class in the Big Ten. They're really good teams. They're very, very bad teams.
But Washington is a totally different team than the Michael Penix team that was like a playoff team.
Oh, they're a bad team.
Minnesota does it have anything going for it? Minnesota, we'll see about Illinois. They come in and ranked number 12. I would put money on them being ranked lower than that by the time the season ends.
What's their schedule like to kick off? Do we know?
Wisconsin is gross.
Gross?
Purdue, gross. UCLA, gross. Rutgers, gross. Like, I don't know. It's a lot of bad football teams. It's a lot of bad. And we Michigan got a pretty favorable rating or ranking, but we don't know what Michigan is going to look like this year. They were gross last year.
The only team Illinois will play of note before Ohio State is Indiana.
That's
it.
So
USC?
We might not even have a good enough litmus test to understand if they're good or not.
They're going to play Western Illinois. What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry.
The Fighting Illinois.
You don't think USC is a big primetime game for Illinois?
How about that? How about the Duke football team?
Whoa. Hold on.
The Dukes.
Hold on.
The Dukies.
Hold on. Western Illinois might have just become my favorite FCS team. You mean the Western Illinois Leathernecks are going into Champaign?
Oh.
They are. Oh my God. Let's go Leathernecks. Let's go.
What kind of schedule they got?
Hey, all right, boys. Look back at here, and then we're going to wrap things up. Look back at the Ohio State schedule here.
Yeah.
What's the record?
Fine.
11-1.
11-1. Only losses to Michigan.
Until Ryan Day can do it, I'm not convinced that he's going to beat Michigan.
You know what? I'm going to do it too. I'm going to say 11-1.
I was going to say Chad and I are here. Join us.
Yeah.
I think I'm there. I'm with you. It's doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing that we're doing with the Browns or whatever. It's until you show you can do it, man. I'm not picking it. Right. Especially last year. You had a team that was so far superior, and you still lost. Because you and I put all the blame on Ryan Day, and I think Ryan Day earned a lot of love, and I think he earned a lot of job security with that national championship. But until you stop coaching that game like a baby back bitch,
right,
you're gonna lose it.
And also, here's the last thing I'll say: that Texas game will be tough regardless. First game of the season, we don't know today as a fan who the quarterback is. That could very easily be a loss.
Yeah, 10-2 at worst, but
I think
I still think 11.
You're still in the playoffs.
A 10-2 Ohio State team that loses to Texas and Michigan is still in the playoffs.
100%. 100%.
Last thing, because this came up. I still get. I was having this conversation with some friends today. I'm here with a lot of people that are big Ohio State fans and big Michigan fans, and this conversation came up. And the Michigan fans are loving the streak that they have against Ohio State and the fact that it's been 2,000 plus whatever days since Ohio State beat Michigan and blah, 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 blah. And obviously Ohio State fans can look back and go, yeah, but who's the national champion?
Right.
And I think the easy question is, if you're an Ohio State fan, like, if you had to sacrifice the Michigan game for a guaranteed national championship, do you do it?
Yes.
And there are Ohio State fans that say no to that.
Yeah, you do, but man, it just doesn't feel good.
Sure it does. That national championship last year feels great. It felt
It
great.
feels good. If I was in the same position as Michigan, so like 2 years ago, let's say Ohio State beat Michigan and then they won the Natty. I would say the same exact thing back to them. Well, you didn't beat Ohio State to get there, and like it's a valid argument. It's a valid argument from their side, but at the end of the day, the Natty's a Natty.
That's right.
When you say what are your goals, like whenever anybody talks about what are the goals going into every season, when you're Ohio State football, a national championship and beat Michigan. When national championship is always the first thing you say.
Yeah, it should be, or you're crazy.
Yeah. So
but then,
yes.
But then the question came up: would you sacrifice beating Michigan to know that you were going to make it to the national championship game, and then we don't know what happens? And I struggled with this because I'm going to tell you what, man. While up front, my logical brain wants to say, yeah, of course, because I'm still in the national championship game. If you lose that national championship game and you lost to Michigan, that feels shitty.
You have to win the Natty, I think.
Yeah, no, it's that I would not sacrifice Michigan for that.
That's what I like before we even got to the national championship thing, because I was kind of arguing with I don't remember who it was. I think it was the Ohio State fan. I was like, dude, what? Like,
I think we talked about that last year. I think we said we have to win the Natty
but I'm like,
for that to be okay.
Yeah, if you lost to Michigan and then you lost, let's say they lost that. Let's say Texas, you didn't get that Jack Sawyer strip sack fumble touchdown, and Texas tied up the game, and then Texas ends up winning that game, and you lose in the semifinals, you're pissed.
Yeah,
you lost to Michigan, and then you lost in the semifinals.
You
lose.
If you don't win the Natty, those Michigan losses will start to stick out. So no,
Yes.
I would not trade. I would not trade losing to Michigan for going to the Natty.
All right.
But I would
again,
1,000% trade it for winning the Natty.
I didn't say losing the Natty. I just said you might win, you might lose, but it's like just go.
I don't want the chance.
Yeah, I agree. Boys, listen, it's 10:40. The time flew like crazy, and frankly, the way the Guardians played tonight, we don't really need to get into them, although they've been hot. Gavin Williams follows up his almost no-hitter with the worst outing of the year tonight. The Guards lost 13-4, but they are still one of the hottest teams in baseball, and they're still right in the playoff race, so we'll catch up on them a little bit more next week. This series against the Marlins has been fun, and we'll see if they can win it tomorrow. But great Browns talk, great Ohio State and college football talk. It is fun to be talking football again as we are getting ready for all of this stuff to kick back in full gear. We'll talk more about all of it again next week. But that's going to do it for us for episode 276, our last order of business. Well, no, we got to do one more order of business and then our last order of business. We always have to end things with our cheers of the week, where we got to call somebody out for being cool. Chad, it feels like a lot of stuff in your life has just been a total asshole.
Yeah.
So why don't you lead us off with a cheer of the week this week?
I'm going to cheers Andrew Luck because on this day a few years ago, I forget how long ago it was, O.J. Simpson drafted Andrew in his fantasy football league, only to retire an hour later. So cheers to you, Andrew.
Hey there, Twitter world. It's me, O.J. Mahomes.
It's me. It's me.
It's me, yours truly.
It's me who got away with murder.
Well, no, he didn't get away anymore.
Yeah, nope, can't. He can't get away now.
Shout out to Andrew Luck for that. That's a great one. I will go next. My cheers goes to a group of people that I work very closely with in my actual life, in my job, and who are getting ready to. All parents are excited right now because they are getting ready to take on an incredible task. I'm going to cheers teachers.
Okay.
Because we are getting ready all across the country for teachers to head back into the classroom and for kids to go back into school. And I work with teachers on a daily basis. And man, what a job they have. And there's a lot of people that do not appreciate them. And so I always think it's fair to say, no matter what bad shit gets said, anybody that says a bad thing about teachers is a fool. Teachers are underappreciated. And I think they should know that there are a lot of people who do appreciate them. So my cheer of the week goes out to all the teachers out there who are going to take these kids back in and learn them a thing or two. Good luck to the start of the school year to all the teachers out there. Joe.
Wow. So profound, Mike. I want to cheers air conditioning. Man, you don't know you miss it until it's like 94 degrees outside and like the house doesn't have it.
Yeah.
So movie theaters, malls, cars. Thank you for the cool air.
God. That was amazing. So profound. Air conditioning,
brutal.
AC.
Hot summer. AC, baby.
Ah, fuck Joey. God damn it. Fuck you, Joey. Oh, wait. Is my mic not?
No, your mic was off. You're fine.
Oh,
You're fine.
shit.
You're good. That was really funny.
Honorable mention cheers. Honorable mention cheers. High school football starting next week, baby.
Baby.
Let's go. Mike and I back in the booth.
Where are we going?
Brunswick, baby.
We're going
Berea
Brunswick.
Mid Park at Brunswick.
Oh, our schedule's so good this year,
It's
too.
so
I cannot wait for Highland and Avon Lake, man.
Oh.
We should do a little more deep dive into high school football, I think. Like a little just moment.
We can do it next
leading up
week.
to the games and previews. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Chad and I have some baller games this year.
Primo matchup. Finally got someone like knows what they're fucking doing when they're putting together matchups.
Wadsworth and Hudson, man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Even the mid games, even the games with mid teams should be good. Keystone and Cloverleaf,
Oh, give it to me.
Berea Mid Park and Brunswick, like
Give it to me.
Black River and
Brunswick. I think Brunswick will be good this year.
I think maybe we'll see.
Give it to me. Yeah, we're getting ready. Next Friday. It's next Friday.
That's why I said next Friday. Let's go.
Berea and Brunswick. All right, I love it. All right, that's going to do it for episode 276 of the Garage Beers podcast. Go follow the show at The Garage Beers on all the socials, and make sure you get over to the OBR.com and hit subscribe. And whether you're on the OBR's Twitch or X or whatever, hit follow. We will be back on the OBR's YouTube. But you know what? It didn't seem to slow down the fans here, to the crowd here tonight, as there were a bunch of people in here watching as we were going tonight. So we appreciate y'all for jumping in. But just make sure you're subscribed to all things OBR as we approach Brown season. There will be all kinds of great stuff going on with the OBR. Big shout out to everybody that joined us live here tonight, all 500 of you, including the people that got into the comments as well. We appreciate you guys for jumping in on the show. And if you couldn't make it live, we're glad to see that you joined us on Apple or Spotify or wherever you caught the podcast. We appreciate you more than you will ever know. That is going to do it for episode 276. For Chad over on the east side of Cleveland, for Joey out in Seattle, I am Michael Keefe. Again, go follow the show at The Garage Beers. We'll see you next week for episode 277. Until then, cheers, everybody.